Hello, I'm Jazz and this is Heels Up. In this episode we talk to Lucas Pagès, passionate telemark racer from Andorra. He's your fun friend, but there's also a lot more to him than that. So how did you get started with telemark?
Being from Andorra, I think we almost are born with skis. Since like 2.5 years old, I was skiing. I always been to the same club. So in Andorra, like as soon as you're a child, you go to a club, like the hometown or village club, and everybody does that. And at the age of like 9, I think 9 or 10, is when they go more to races. And I wasn't really not interested in races. I was like one of the last at every like little races they were doing. I was terrible at it. I was like last or like just before last. But I was happy. And the moment that really switched is when we had powder and we had to train in gates. And at that moment I was like, yeah, no, it's not working for me. And just at that moment they opened like a multidiscipline group where we did skimo, telemark, a little snowboard, alpine ski, a little bit of everything. That's why I discovered telemark, and year by year I did a little bit more. And after I think was the COVID, I saw that my level was stagnant, like I had a better level than my coach. I was like, oh, I need something more interesting. And so I started to ask to people to see how I will manage to get to the next level. And I ended up with Sam Decoux, with his wife that was working in the same high school that I was. So Sam Decoux was the official photographer.
Social media coordinator, yeah. Yes. He's doing a lot for the sport. He's doing a lot.
And he did a lot for me. So she get me in contact with him and we talked and whatever. And after I get in contact with Seb, and here I am 5 years later in Chamonix training.
Was there somebody that really believed in you?
Yeah, I had few people that really believed in me, but I think the one who was here from the start, from the beginning, was my old coach in Andorra, Jordi Iglesias. If you know, you know. Nobody knows him here, but he has always been with me. So we've trained for like, I think 6 years, 7 years together. So he saw me grow up, and he was always the one pushing me, and he was my first sponsor ever. So he gave me a pair of head skis that I raced my first World Cups on. That he really believed in me. And the other one also, it's Seb. He gives faith in us, in all his athletes. And even for me at first I was like, he's the GB team coach. But no, at the end he has his international team. And you can really feel that you're his athlete, and he really believes in you, and he really wants you to do great. It was really interesting how, so I was 16 and we had some Zoom calls with Seb, with my parents and Seb, and you already met my dad. My dad is really like, he doesn't care about racing, he doesn't like racing, all the stuff. He's like, my child will have his studies straight, and after he can do those things. He always said like, he can have fun, but further study. And so in the Zoom meeting, Seb was like, okay, so yeah, this is important, blah, blah. And my dad just stopped him and said, I don't care about what you do. I just want him to be happy and to have the studies straight. If I see the studies go down, he will stop everything. Like, this is what he said. And I was behind me like, hello, Seb, that's my dad. And I had also to convince them to go to Hintertux in Austria at the age of 16 there was some that helped, but same, like I was kind of alone, going for 2-3 weeks in Hintertux, far away from my family, underage, and that was quite hard to convince them, but they let me at the end because they saw that it was really important for me. No, that was so cool, and I learned a lot. I was completely terrible skier, terrible telemarker, but it was funny. I think Seb at that moment understood he will have a lot of work with me.
But you're studying in Italy?
Yeah, now I'm studying in Italy. I have biology bachelor in France, and I finished it, I passed it. I'm really happy with it.
Very good.
My dad was also really happy with it. And now I'm in Italy doing a master's in the management of mountain areas. It's quite interesting also.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say you're quite passionate about mountains.
Yeah, I'm quite a mountain guy, yeah. I think I couldn't live out the mountains. So I think whenever you come from a small nation, even more Andorra, is like really blocked into the mountains. Really, you have a strong feeling of being Andorra, and you have a strong culture. You're really proud of being Andorra. You really want to show the people I'm Andorran and I'm proud of it. So that was my first thing, to be like, if I can represent them in World Cup, what I'm doing now, it's really what I want to do. I want to represent not only the federation or some people, but I want to represent the country, because we're not a lot representing that. So I think we are really proud of being Andorrans, because we know we're not that much, so we need to be proud of who we are.
And tell me about the federation and sponsorships and how this is going on.
So right now it's going on quite well, actually. Has been quite hard because, as I said, my dad, the thing when I started doing in World Cups with my dad, he told me, I will let you and I will help you, but I'm not getting involved. So at 16, 17 year old, I had to find sponsor, I had to talk with federation, and the thing, normally when you have federation meetings or whatever, from normal people will be like the coach or the some representative in the federation. Me, it was just me with the CEO at 17 year old. Quite hard. So we had a really hard start, we can say. They didn't really want me because I was just an alone 17 year old that wanted just to do World Cups in telemark. They did have one telemark skill before, but he could pay everything on his own and I couldn't.
Okay.
So at first they didn't want me. Throughout the years and finding new sponsor that really helped me, not only for the economical part and just the telemark, I was really lucky to find sponsor that really helped me in the overall part. So he pushed me, this main sponsor here, Fresinairo, really pushed me to be better. And the first time I saw him and talked about sponsorship with him, he said, okay, I just want you to be at 100%. I will not get into technical parts. He said, I'm not your coach. You have a coach for that, for all the technical parts. Yeah. I just want you to be at 100%, but for all your life. And so he really pushed me to get a psychologist. Okay. That was really helping. And I'm still with her. And every week I have appointments and everything. And it's like a little bit game changer, I felt.
Yeah, for sure.
So thanks to him, so he pushed me on that, and he pushed me also with all the sponsors, and he kind of developed my skills to get some new sponsors, and that's how now I can kind of cover my expenses this year. So that's a huge achievement. Burden that you don't carry out. Yeah.
So he helped you become more professional.
Yeah. So to take out all this burden of how will I manage to pay the season, because I think most of the telemark skier has always this thing of how will I manage to pay, because it's like 15 to 20,000 euros that you have to take it out of somewhere. So I know I'm working in the summers, and thanks to that now I can I don't ask money from my parents. That was my main thing, it's my thing. I don't want to ask them for paying for me.
I understand.
And so yeah.
And in summer you're working in the refuge, in the mountains?
Now it's been 2 years that I'm a mountain shelter, and I'm a guard in the mountain shelter. And it's super cool. So I'm up there 5 days a week and 2 days at home to rest. So 2 days just sleeping. But the 5 days I'm up I'm just in the mountains. And when there is nobody, I just go train and running the mountains behind goats and whatever.
With your real family. But I mean, all of that sounds kind of like the dream, but it's not always been easy, has it? Because you've suffered some big injuries, ACL, knee. You've had plenty of injuries, so tell us about that.
So yeah, my telemark journey has been quite challenging. Really beautiful on the outside, like you say, it's really beautiful on the outside, but when you really looked into it. So my first year, I didn't have any physical coach. Okay. So I did all by myself. So as a 16-year-old that really wanted to do good and with a lot of energy, I completely destroyed my back. So it was completely terrible. So that was the first thing. The next year was my ACL. I tore my ACL in Hull in Norway. When I did it, the French physio did all the tests, and I remember how he looked at my coach. He looked at Seb, and I understand that it was like was not good.
Oh.
And so after I was doing some scanners was really clear of completely broken. So I understood directly that if it's broken, that means surgery, that means recovery, and it's all a planning that as an 18-year-old, you're like, oh. So Seb helped me a lot in that, to find good surgeons and to come back. So it helped me a lot mentally, because it was a really challenging did you stop, everything stops at one moment, it's like you can't do anything, and it will be like a year.
Yeah, you have to accept it. And
the path of accepting it was for me really, really hard, of being like, okay, now it's not it's not my life anymore. I will not train. I can't train. I have to go surgery, and after all the physical pain that it is also. So for a few months, it's like you have constant pain, and you have to walk in it, and you have to always listen to the medics that told you, okay, Lucas, go slower. And it was, for me, that was a good thing, that I was really good in my recovery, but also that meant that they were always stopping me to not get more injured. So it was mentally really challenging to feel good, but that you can't go over.
Yeah. What in general is the most difficult thing about an injury?
So the knee, the surgery, I had 2 moments that were really hard. The most hard for me, it was first to accept it, accept that you're injured, and accept that there was some live streaming, and I was looking at you, and I had my knee like this, swollen, and studying for my exams in a little shitty room, I remember. And I was like, that was my life. I should have been there. But you have to, the thing of accepting myself, accepting the state I am of, okay, now I'm injured. But that passed quite easy when you go to re-education center and you see people that are way more injured than you. And at that moment, when you see someone that has his knee completely destroyed, you're like, okay, well, I'm not too bad at the end. After the second part, that was for me also really, really hard, is when you start to come back. So it's, for me, it was 6 months after the injury, where you come back at running.
Okay.
But they told you, okay, you can run, but it's on 10 meters full flat. So you're not running, you just do 2 things, and they're like, oh, you can't do anything more.
Okay.
So it's really hard for me, because you feel that before it was like, okay, when you accepted that you're injured, is you can't do anything, that's okay, now you just can't do anything. But now it's, you can do that, but you can't do that. You have to be really, really careful. And it's really frustrating, because
2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Yeah.
2 steps forward.
And as an injury or things like this, is it's not something that you sit. So I remember my dad, when I was like this, telling me, oh, we go in the mountains. And I was like, Dad, I can't even walk in the downhill.
Yeah.
It's like, no, but you be careful and it's okay. It's like, no, it's clearly not okay. I can't do anything. But after he said, but you went running there, I was like, yeah, it was on 10 meters on full, on a slope, flat and everything. And so mentally, it's really hard, because as it is long term, people will kind of forget that the importance of this injury. But that also puts some strength on the athlete who is injured, or being you really have to focus to control everything, and to be able to say, no, I can't do that.
In training as well, I mean, is it fair to say you're an emotional guy?
It's really fair to say. No, I know I live it's what I always did all my life, is I really try to live the things. When will be training, when something will be good, you will see that it's really great. And when something is bad, it's I have a lot of energy to take out, I think.
Yes. Yeah, you wear your heart on your sleeve, don't you? I think we were training the other week, and something happened, you skied down, and I said, and I think the guys at the top could hear me, was like, oh no, he'll be in a bad mood. And then they skied down, you were in a bad mood, and they said, yeah, Jazz said that. Which of course makes you in an even worse mood.
I feel that since last year I'm with a psychologist, it's really helping to really accept and being like, okay, I did a mistake, but it's okay, I accept it, now we continue. Mm-hmm. And all this thing of, I still live the moment, but before I think I was living more the last moment of the first gate. I was still living the first gate, in the last gate.
Difficult for you to let go of a mistake.
Yeah, now I think I had a lot of work on that, and you can feel it on the ski. It's way more smoother, I will say.
Yes.
But yeah, last year the main goal of my trainings were the mental part, because I felt a big lack on my mental health. We could say mental health. So start of the season, it was my last season in juniors. It was my last year of biology bachelor, so really important year of like studies and sport. And at the start of the season, I couldn't manage anything. My physical prep was terrible because I just couldn't train. I wanted to train, but at the training I was doing almost nothing. I had no energy, nothing. That moment is where my sponsor said, "Lucas, now you go to see this therapist and you don't say anything." I'm like, okay. And it helped me a lot to just accept who I am, accept how I am, accept the ups and downs, mostly also the downs. And also last year, it's when Emil died, a Norwegian athlete died, really friend of mine. And so how I got the news, I was alone in my little shitty room in Grenoble, and I got that news. And it's like, you don't know how to. It's the first time I have a friend who died. Mm. I know it will happen in a month and everything, but when it's the first time, you're not prepared. You're like, what I'm doing. So luckily, I have this psychologist where I called her. The message I sent her is like, I need urgent session. One of my friends died. No, that was my thing. Yeah. So she called me because after I was like, okay, at that hour we call, and that helped me to really process all the emotions and let me live all the emotions. I think as a man, and even more how I am, we have been internalized of not living completely the emotions. So I felt that was really hard for me to show the others that I'm weak sometimes. I'm still working on that. So when it's good, like when I'm happy, I will show it. When I'm mad, I will also show it. But when I will be vulnerable, I will never show it. That's the thing where you have to accept it, that being vulnerable sometimes is better.
Sometimes that's the strongest thing.
Yeah.
And actually everyone was really touched by Emil's death. It was very sad. All the telemark world, we all were kind of in mourning together, weren't we?
Yeah.
It was a really difficult time.
We could say the crazy thing is the week after we had races in
Norway?
No, not in Norway, in Sweden.
Oh, in Sweden, sorry.
But in Sweden, the first race was terrible. Completely, I was really not in the state of doing races. We had some really good talk with my psychologist and with Seb. That really helps me. And the next day I did my best result, 11th. Yeah, no, I did the first run 10th. And the second run, I just broke my pole and fucked it up. But best race that I really raced without the problem of the pole, it was my best race ever. Mm-hmm. And it's the thing of everything was so weird at the end, because one day you're crying your eyes out, and the next day you're there and you're like, oh, I'm really skiing wood. I'm like,
things don't go how you imagine. It's
but
weird.
After the thing is just to accept how you are and say, okay, today was a good day. We let that. We take everything the good and we let the bad.
Exactly. What's your relationship like with your coach?
So it has evolved during the years. Mm-hmm. Last year we had I could say a big turning point in our relationship, because Seb has always been kind of a figure that for us, or at least for me. I think he saw that I'm just a 17-year-old from Andorra who has way too much energy and don't know how to manage this energy, and being like, I want to win the World Cups now, and I was completely really not ready to even do like a top 20. And so he really took I think this dad role of managing me and calming me and talking to me to a lot of races. We were like long chats with him. He was having a few a few caps of being my kind of dad figure here, being my mental coach, because he also had, with all the talks, he had kind of mental coach and also my coach. And last year we had a problem, because I think I really needed to divide, to know when is like the dad Seb, the coach Seb, or the mental coach Seb. And I remember you were here, I think, because it was just here at one training and I got super mad at him because he was telling me something I wasn't understanding, or I didn't took it right, or something like that. And I said, Seb, I can't understand when you say that. You have to be. So I know that sometimes when it's for training, I really want to do more. Sometimes it's not good for me. And and before, as he had this dad kind of casket, he said, oh, you should maybe do like a free run. But me, if I hear I should maybe do a free run, for me it's like, oh, I can do a free run, but I will do another run in the gates. And so I got like really straight of him, being like, if you want me to do a free run, you say, Lucas, now you go do a free run. And after that point, it was quite hard at the beginning because he was really harsh sometimes on me. He was telling me, oh, you should do that like this. I was like, no, because I feel nice. And most of the time now he was telling me, Lucas, now you shut up and you do what I say. So at start it was hard, but now I feel it was the best, how we could have best managed that. And he's still my coach and everything, but now it's like we really put differentiate which kind of Seb I'm talking to.
I think that's important, and having a coach-athlete relationship, there's no other relationship in your life like that.
Yeah.
It's very unique, and it can become very heated very quickly, and then poof, it's fine. Completely fine. It's not carrying on, it's just...
Yeah. The start of my career, I thought about, if he has to coach me well, he has to know everything. Mm-hmm. So I really give him all the information, like all happened in my life, my private life. I was sharing to him everything. So that's why he was also having this dad casket. But he has all this information. So yeah, we have a relationship really close, because I know he knows almost more than I know about myself. The thing I really like with Seb is, when we will talk, he will listen to what I said. So last year he got 2 concussions, and that was hard also. And we didn't manage right the first concussion, and we know it. Like, I didn't manage well, and he also didn't manage well. And so after the second concussion, when I went to the doctors, and everybody was mad at me of, why didn't you went to the doctors after the first concussion or whatever. So I went to Seb and said, okay, Seb, we had a problem here. I was kind of mad at him because we didn't manage it well. And we had a really good talk about, I should have gone to the doctor, I shouldn't have gone to another race, I should have gone to hospital directly. But also I didn't tell him everything. I didn't tell him all the symptoms, all how I was feeling. I remember because a week after my first concussion, we went to Slovenia. And in the car ride, I had massive headache all the car ride. And I was like, Lucas, you will not say anything because I want to race after.
And your normal style, as you said before, is to tell him everything.
Yeah. We had this talk, and we had exactly the same talk. And the thing is, now he's really more focused on how I'm feeling. And here I have back pain for 4 days. And as soon as I had back pain, I was like, Seb, I have back pains. And I wanted to train, but he just told me, Lucas, you take your shit and you go home. And I think it's the best thing of now we're really close, and I trust him of finding maybe things that I can't really feel it or I don't accept. And he trusts me of telling him, okay, now it's hurting, I stop. Yeah. I think that's the most important thing of our relationship now.
Who then has been your biggest inspiration?
I had a few ones. First has been you, of how you manage the trainings. I was breaking my head of how you were training and managing all the calendars really well, and dots. It was like, I do 12 sets, you will do 12 sets or 13 sets, but you will not do 11 sets. And that's something I was like, I need to be like this, and I want to be like this. The other part is trim.
Yeah.
Because so at the start of my career, I finished the first World Cup after the 5th one. I had a lot of energy that I had to push out some way, and it was in Les Contamines, I think, that I fell. It was 2 days of races, and 2 days I fell in the same spot. Second day, I completely burst out, went out, I was crying, kicking the snow and everything. And I have this image of him. I remember because he was on the top 3 of the best guys in the world in telemark. And he came and he talked to me and say, okay, Lucas, you have to calm down. And he was super nice with me. I was like, wow, that's telemark. Like that's the top guys are coming to the bottom guy who's like the first season who's a piece of shit, and he's helping me. And that thing, I was like, okay, that's the mentality we need to have in telemark. And I need to push also for me to like be humble and being like, you have the new guy who's struggling, you help him.
So if you were to build your magic telemark skier and you took different skills from different people, maybe skiing, jumping, skating, mindset.
So training and mind, like all the physical prep and mindset, I will take yours for sure.
Okay, that's very kind.
All the part of the mindset and the skating, I will take Trim. I think we can agree on that.
Yeah.
Jumping, I will start with myself. No, I mean, I just had I don't know, like, I think I am a good jumper. I just need to work a lot with my landings. And skiing, it will be, that's interesting, it will be having a mix between Léa Lation and Adrian. Because Adrian, when he does like his transition and he does boom, 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 and you're like, what did he do here? And Léa Lation, when you looked at her skiing, you're like, what did she do here? So I think that would be the best mix.
That's a pretty good telemarker. Yeah. Are there any major events in your life which maybe had an impact on you?
In the far away that shaped me as a child was my brother had a leukemia, a cancer. He beat it, he's okay, he's doing all his life, he's an engineer, all that. But that really pushed me, I think, unconsciously to do the things on my own. And I think that's why also I'm here now. It's because unconsciously I wanted to do all the things on my own, and doing telemark skiing at a better level from Andorra when I'm alone, completely alone, it was like, if I want to do it, I really have to do it. It's not, I want to do it, oh well, my dad will do it. Nobody will, and nobody will come to you being like, oh, you're good in telemark, we go there, you go do World Cups. They don't, you have to go to people. And that was really hard also to just, first meetings with the federation saying, I want to go in World Cup. I have the coach, he said yes and everything, and just them to telling me, oh, for the moment you have nothing, so for the moment you don't exist for us. And you're 17 and you're like, oh. And I think I'm quite strong-minded and I'm really stubborn, and so I was like, I will do it. I will show them, and I will show everybody, I will show me that I'm capable of. And I think my kind of motto of how I'm doing the seasons and I'm doing my career is, I want to see till where I can go.
How would you describe yourself, or how do you think, for example, your parents would describe you?
Oh, my parents would describe me as a pain in the ass. No, my parents will describe me as someone that really passionate about what he does and everything, but also someone who wants to do too many things. And I know that's my point. I always want to, oh, that is good, and most of the time I say, oh yes, I will help you that, I will help you that, I will help you that. At the end, I end up on like the same day doing like 4 different walks, and I'm like, how will I manage to do all that? I always just kind of manage it. But I think now they really saw that I'm responsible and I will do it, or I will do what's good for me. And that's what they like for me, is they know I will go for what I like, and not just because it's easy to do that.
Who do you think's the funniest person on the circuit? You can't say yourself.
I can't say myself, but I'm the funniest. Well, at least I have the more fun, I think.
You make yourself laugh the most.
Yeah. Maxime is quite funny sometimes.
Maxime's funny, yeah.
Or Hamish.
Yeah.
When he was still here. Who else is funny? No, French people are not that funny. Yes, I love him. The Swiss coach, Erwan. So funny.
Well, he's French, so...
Yeah, but he has the Swiss coach, so he's saving himself.
Okay. What's the moment you realised that, yes, this is my sport?
First one was one day in Andorra when I came back with alpine skis. I found that so boring. I was like, okay, I need something else. And second, I said with trim. I was like, I think I did a lot of sports in my life, and I always did the sports with the mentality. And when Trim came here, I was like, okay, that's the mentality I want, and I will continue telemarketing till this mentality fades out. And if this mentality fades out, I will be one of the first being, Seb, this is no more for me.
You know what I think's funny is when I say to you, "Oh, Luca, how was your run?" And you're like, "First time," and then I went to the jump. With like no words, just noises.
Okay, so it's like Zach. Vroom.
There we go.
I always have these, and I feel because it's with my sensations, like you have the yak, vroom, woof, and it's have my meaning.
What are the bad noises? Pa 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 pa.
Pa 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 is really bad. When I say I know this gate will go pa pa pa, it means this gate I will.
If you had one piece of advice for a new telemark racer, what would it be?
New telemark skier is. Take your time. It will take some time, but just enjoy. Like, enjoy this feeling of imbalance. Enjoy the fails. Enjoy everything of it. Enjoy the pain in the muscles, because when you start, we know that
there's some pain.
There's some pain, but know that after you will be fucking cool and you will like that. And for first racers is take your time. I know that when I started racing, I was like, I need to be the best. Step by step. Like you're starting, enjoy the moments, and my motto kind of also in the race is really like, I go there to enjoy the race, and at the end when you really enjoy the race, most of the time the results are following.
That's
and
it.
even the results are not following, at least you enjoyed the race.
Very true. That's good advice. What's the dream then?
Oh, I have a lot of dreams. And I think my dream goes beyond the races. I think it fits with myself. It's really going in the mountains, going mountaineering with telemark skiing and doing stuff of when you see something you're like, oh, nobody will ski that, and I'm going down there full speed with telemarks, or nobody will jump that, and I will jump that with telemark skis on the foot. So I think that's one of my dreams, of being happy, doing crazy things in the mountains, and being happy in the life. That can be really cool.
Oh, how lovely. Thank you so much to Lucas Pagès from Andorra. It's always fun with Lucas, and you can follow him on Instagram, and the link to that will be in the description. This podcast was produced and edited by Gurlstrom Eriksson, music by Jed Kennison. We are on Spotify and YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram at HeelsUpPod, and if you enjoyed the podcast and would like to support, you can buy us a coffee. All links in description. What's something that always makes you laugh?
Farts.